Open your heart, my precious one. Unlock every closed door inside you. What I'm about to pour into you won't fit if you're holding back. My dear child, there is something weighing heavy on your heart right now. I can feel it from where I stand, watching over you with eyes full of endless love. Your soul is carrying burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. And today, right at this very moment, heaven itself has opened its gates to speak directly into your life. This is not just another message that will fade away like morning mist. This is a divine whisper that has traveled across realms, crossing the thin veil between earth and eternity, just to reach you. The ones you have loved and lost are not silent. They are speaking, crying out, desperately hoping you will hear what they need you to know before another day passes. You see, my precious one, there exists a truth so profound that ignoring it would be like turning away from the very air you breathe. The people who walked beside you on earth, those beautiful souls who once held your hand, laughed at your jokes, and dried your tears, they have not disappeared into nothingness. They are alive in ways you cannot yet fully understand. They exist in a realm where love never dies, where memories become eternal, and where the bonds you shared continue to pulse with life. Right now, in this sacred moment, they are gathered around you. Their presence is real as the ground beneath your feet, even though your physical eyes cannot see them. What I am about to share with you will shake the very foundation of your grief. It will transform the way you think about loss, about heaven, and about the mysterious journey that every soul must take. Your loved ones are not trapped in some distant, unreachable place. They are close, so incredibly close that if you quiet your mind and open your spiritual senses, you might just feel their gentle touch on your shoulder, their warm breath whispering courage into your weary heart. They watch you every single day. They see your struggles, your victories, your midnight tears, and your brave smiles. Nothing you do goes unnoticed by those who continue to love you from the other side. But here is what breaks their hearts as they watch you from heaven. They see you carrying guilt that does not belong to you. They witness you torturing yourself with questions that have no earthly answers. They watch as you replay old conversations, searching for hidden meanings, wondering if you said enough, did enough, loved enough. And they want to scream across the universe that you did everything perfectly, that you loved them in exactly the way they needed to be loved, that there is nothing left unsaid that truly matters now. The truth they want you to grasp is simple yet powerful beyond measure. Love never required perfection. It never demanded flawless words or perfect timing. Love simply asked you to be present, and you were. You showed up. You cared. You tried. And that was always enough. Right now, as you read these words, there is a loved one in heaven who is pleading with me to help you understand something specific. They have watched you suffer for far too long, seen you punish yourself for things that were never your fault, witnessed you building walls around your heart to protect yourself from ever hurting that deeply again. They want those walls to come down. They want you to live again, not just exist. They want you to laugh without guilt, to love without fear, to embrace joy without wondering if you deserve it. Because you do deserve it. You deserve every beautiful thing this life has to offer, and your happiness does not betray their memory. In fact, your joy honors them more than your endless sorrow ever could. Think about this for a moment. When you loved someone on earth, what did you truly want for them? Did you want them to suffer when you were gone? Did you hope they would spend years trapped in sadness, unable to move forward? Of course not. You wanted them to thrive. You wanted them to find peace. You wanted their life to be filled with light and laughter and love. The same is true for those watching you from heaven right now. They are not asking you to forget them. They are simply asking you to remember them with joy instead of pain, to celebrate the gift of having known them rather than focusing only on the tragedy of losing them. Heaven is not a place of sadness, my dear child. It is a realm of perfect understanding, complete healing, and boundless love. The people you miss so desperately are not grieving their own death. They have seen beyond the veil. They understand now what you cannot yet see. They know that this separation is temporary, that life on earth is just one chapter in an eternal story, that every goodbye is really a see you later. They want you to understand this truth deep in your bones, so that your grief can begin to transform into something lighter, something that no longer crushes the breath from your lungs. There is a specific message trying to break through to you right now. Someone in heaven has been waiting for the perfect moment to speak into your life, and this is that moment. They have been orchestrating events, arranging circumstances, guiding your steps to bring you to this exact place, at this exact time, so you would hear what needs to be said. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. This is love reaching across dimensions to touch your aching heart. Maybe that loved one is a parent who wants you to know that they are proud of the person you have become, even though they could not stay to see it. Maybe it is a child who wants to assure you that heaven is more beautiful than any bedtime story you ever told them, and they are happy, truly happy, in ways earth could never offer. Maybe it is a friend who wants to remind you of the promises you made together, the dreams you shared, the laughter that defined your relationship. Maybe it is a spouse who wants you to know that loving again would not diminish what you shared, that your heart is big enough to hold both the sacred past and a hopeful future. Whoever they are, whatever message they carry, one thing is absolutely certain. They do not want you to remain stuck in this place of pain. They do not want your life to become a memorial to their death. They want you to live fully, love deeply, and embrace every precious moment you have been given on this earth. Because they know something you are still learning. Life is incredibly short, breathtakingly fragile, and far too valuable to waste drowning in regret. Now, I want you to do something important for yourself and for everyone else who needs to hear this message of hope. I want you to subscribe to this channel right now, because what I am sharing with you today is just the beginning. There are countless other souls who are walking through the same valley of shadows that you are navigating, and they need to hear that they are not alone. By subscribing and sharing these messages, you become part of a community that refuses to let grief have the final word. You join a family of believers who understand that death is not the end, that love transcends every boundary, and that heaven is not some far-off fantasy, but a very real place where our loved ones continue to exist in perfect peace. So please, take that small but powerful step right now. Click that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, share this video with someone who is hurting. Let this message ripple outward until it reaches every broken heart that desperately needs to hear these truths. Your simple action could be the very thing that saves someone from giving up hope. It could be the light that guides another grieving soul out of the darkness and back into the possibility of joy. Now, let me tell you something else that your loved ones in heaven want you to understand. They can see things now that were hidden from them on earth. They can see how every painful moment you endured actually shaped you into someone stronger, someone more compassionate, someone capable of deep empathy, because you know what suffering feels like. They can see the ways your heart broke open and how that breaking created space for more love, more wisdom, more understanding to flood in. What looked like destruction from your limited earthly perspective, they can now see as transformation from heaven's unlimited view. Every tear you cried watered seeds of growth that you did not even know were planted. Every sleepless night you endured taught your soul lessons about resilience that cannot be learned any other way. Every moment you wanted to give up but chose to take one more breath, one more step, one more chance on hope, built character and strength that will serve you for the rest of your journey. Your loved ones can see all of this now, and they are amazed by your courage. They are in awe of your ability to keep going even when everything inside you wanted to quit. You think you are weak because you still cry. They see strength beyond measure. You think you are failing because healing takes time. They see patience and perseverance that inspires all of heaven. You judge yourself harshly for not being further along in your grief journey. They celebrate every tiny step forward you manage to take. The gap between how you see yourself and how heaven sees you is enormous, and today I am here to close that gap, to help you see yourself through eyes of love instead of eyes of criticism. Let me paint you a picture of what happens in heaven when you speak your loved one's name. Every time you remember them, every time you share a story about them, every time you honor their memory in some small way, there is celebration in the realm beyond. It is as if you are keeping their light burning bright in the physical world, refusing to let their impact fade into obscurity. Your memories of them matter more than you know. Your stories about them carry weight in both worlds. Your love for them creates a bridge that allows blessings to flow from heaven down to earth. But here is what you must understand, my precious child. Honoring them does not mean staying stuck in the past. It does not require you to build a shrine of sorrow and worship there for the rest of your life. True honor comes from taking the beautiful things they taught you, the love they showed you, the dreams they believed in, and using all of that to create a life that would make them smile. True honor means becoming the best version of yourself, not despite their absence, but inspired by their memory. Imagine for a moment that you could sit down with your loved one right now. Imagine they could speak to you clearly, directly, with no veil between you. What do you think they would say? Would they tell you to stay sad forever? Would they encourage you to close your heart to new relationships, new experiences, new joys? Would they want you to punish yourself endlessly for things you cannot change? Or would they wrap you in their arms, look into your eyes with all the love they always had for you, and tell you that it is okay to be happy again? Would they give you permission to release the guilt, to forgive yourself, to step into the fullness of life that still awaits you? You already know the answer to these questions. Deep in your heart, beneath all the pain and confusion, you know exactly what they would want for you. They would want healing. They would want peace. They would want you to find joy again. And that is exactly what I am offering you today. Not a betrayal of their memory, but a pathway back to wholeness. Not forgetting them, but remembering them in a way that brings life instead of death to your spirit. There is a common lie that grief tries to sell you. It whispers that if you stop hurting, it means you have stopped loving. It suggests that the depth of your pain is somehow equal to the depth of your love, and that letting go of the pain would diminish the love. This is completely false. Love and pain are not the same thing. Love can exist without suffering. In fact, love in its purest form is joyful, peaceful, and life-giving. The pain you feel is not love, it is loss. And while loss is real and valid, and deserves to be honored, it does not have to define the rest of your story. Your loved ones in heaven have moved beyond pain. They exist in a state of pure love now, untainted by any form of suffering. They want you to move toward that same kind of love here on earth. They want you to remember them with smiles instead of only tears. They want you to feel grateful for the time you had together, instead of only bitter about the time you lost. They want you to carry forward the best parts of what you shared, while releasing the heavy burden of unresolved grief. And here is something beautiful that I want you to know. As you heal, as you grow, as you move forward into new chapters of your life, your loved ones in heaven are cheering you on. They are not disappointed in you for laughing again. They are not hurt when you have days where you do not think about them constantly. They are not angry when you open your heart to new love. Instead, they are celebrating your courage, applauding your strength, and rejoicing in your ability to choose life over death, hope over despair, love over fear. Think about the times in your relationship when your loved one saw you struggling and wanted to help. Remember how they would do anything to ease your pain, to lift your burdens, to make your path a little easier. That same desire still exists in them now, magnified and purified by heaven's perspective. They are still on your side. They are still rooting for you. They are still invested in your well-being and happiness. The only difference is that now they can see the bigger picture, and they understand that your healing does not diminish your love for them. It honors it. There is also something important you need to know about forgiveness. Many people carry guilt because they believe they failed their loved one in some way. Maybe you were not there at the exact moment they passed. Maybe you had an argument that never got resolved. Maybe you said things in anger that you wish you could take back. Maybe you did not recognize how sick they were until it was too late. Maybe you chose work over time with them, not knowing how little time was left. Whatever your specific regret might be, heaven wants you to know that you are forgiven. Your loved one understands now in ways they could not fully understand on earth. They see your heart. They know your intentions. They recognize that you did the best you could with the knowledge, strength, and resources you had at the time. They do not hold grudges from beyond the grave. They do not keep score of your mistakes. They do not condemn you for being human, for being imperfect, for sometimes getting things wrong. Instead, they extend to you the same grace and mercy that heaven has extended to them. But here is the harder truth. Even though they forgive you, you must also forgive yourself. You must release yourself from the prison of guilt and regret. You must stop replaying the past and wishing you had done things differently. You must accept that you cannot change what has already happened, but you can choose how you will live going forward. You can decide today, right now, in this very moment, to let go of the weight you have been carrying and step into the freedom that forgiveness offers. This does not mean forgetting what happened. It does not mean pretending everything was perfect. It simply means acknowledging that you are human, that humans make mistakes, and that mistakes do not disqualify you from love, happiness, or a beautiful future. It means treating yourself with the same compassion you would offer to anyone else in your situation. It means recognizing that you have suffered enough, and it is time to exchange your pain for peace. Your loved ones in heaven are not waiting for you to achieve some impossible standard of perfection before they can be proud of you. They are proud of you right now, exactly as you are, mess and all. They see your broken pieces and love you anyway. They know your flaws and choose to focus on your strengths. They understand your struggles and celebrate your survival. You do not have to earn their love from heaven any more than you had to earn it on earth. It is freely given, unconditionally offered, and permanently secured. Now, let me share something with you about the nature of heaven that might shift your entire perspective. Heaven is not some cloudy, boring place where people float around playing harps and doing nothing meaningful. It is a realm of incredible activity, purpose, and joy. Your loved ones are not sitting idle, waiting for eternity to pass. They are engaged in work that matters, relationships that fulfill, and adventures that excite. They are learning, growing, creating, and experiencing things that earth could never offer. But even in the midst of all that heaven has to offer, they still think of you. They still love you. They still care about what happens in your life. You are not forgotten just because they have moved on to a better place. In fact, their love for you has only deepened, purified of all the petty concerns and limitations that sometimes clouded it on earth. Now they can love you with perfect love, untainted by ego, fear, or selfishness. Now they can see you clearly and love you completely for exactly who you are. And from that place of perfect love, they are sending you messages. Sometimes these messages come through dreams that feel more real than waking life. Sometimes they come through songs that play at exactly the right moment. Sometimes they come through strangers who speak words you desperately needed to hear. Sometimes they come through nature, a butterfly landing on your shoulder, a cardinal appearing at your window, a rainbow stretching across the sky after a storm. Sometimes they come through this very message you are reading right now, words that seem to speak directly to your specific situation, even though they were written for thousands of people. Pay attention to these signs, my dear child. Do not dismiss them as coincidence or imagination. Heaven is constantly trying to communicate with you, to remind you that you are not alone, to assure you that love continues beyond death. The more you open yourself to receiving these messages, the more frequently they will come. The more you trust that the veil between worlds is thin, the more you will experience the reality of heaven breaking into earth. But I also want to warn you about something. There is an enemy of your soul who does not want you to heal. This enemy delights in your pain. He celebrates your suffering. He works tirelessly to keep you trapped in cycles of grief, guilt, and despair, because he knows that when you are stuck in those places, you cannot fulfill your purpose or experience the abundant life you were meant to live. This enemy will whisper lies to you, trying to convince you that healing is betrayal, that moving forward is dishonoring the dead, that joy is inappropriate for someone who has experienced such loss. Do not listen to these lies. Recognize them for what they are: attempts to steal your future by chaining you to your past. Your loved ones in heaven are not aligned with this enemy. They do not want you to suffer endlessly in their memory. They want you to thrive, and heaven itself is working on your behalf, orchestrating moments of grace, providing opportunities for healing, surrounding you with love, even when you feel completely alone. There is a beautiful truth that I want you to absorb into the deepest parts of your being. Your story is not over. Yes, you have experienced loss. Yes, you have walked through valleys so dark you thought you might never see light again. Yes, you have felt pain that seemed unbearable. But none of that means your story ends in tragedy. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still capable of experiencing love, joy, purpose, and fulfillment. The chapter you just finished was painful, but it is not the final chapter. There are still beautiful pages waiting to be written in the book of your life. Your loved ones in heaven can see the chapters that are coming. They can see the healing that awaits you. They can see the new relationships that will bring unexpected joy. They can see the ways you will use your pain to help others who are suffering. They can see the legacy you will build and the lives you will touch. They can see all of this, and they are excited for you. They are not sad that your life continues without them. They are grateful that you get more time to make a difference, to love deeply, to discover who you are meant to become. So as you stand at this crossroads, I want you to make a choice. You can continue down the path of endless grief, allowing loss to define every moment of your remaining days. Or you can choose a different path, one where you honor your loved ones by living fully, loving deeply, and embracing the gift of each new day. You can carry their memory in your heart without carrying the weight of sorrow on your shoulders. You can remember them with gratitude instead of only with pain. You can celebrate the time you had instead of only mourning the time you lost. This choice is yours to make, and no one can make it for you. But know this: heaven is cheering for you to choose life. Your loved ones are hoping you will choose healing. I am standing with you, offering you my hand, ready to walk with you into a future that is brighter than you can currently imagine. All you have to do is take that first step. All you have to do is decide that you are worth fighting for, that your life still has meaning and purpose, that your story deserves a beautiful ending. And as you make that choice, as you begin to walk forward into healing, you will discover something amazing. The love you shared with the people you lost does not diminish. It actually grows stronger, purer, more beautiful, because now it exists without the complications that earthly relationships sometimes bring. Now it is love in its truest form, unbreakable, eternal, perfect. That love will sustain you through every challenge you face. It will comfort you in lonely moments. It will inspire you to become the best version of yourself. It will connect you to heaven in ways that make this separation feel less permanent. This is what your loved ones want you to know. This is the message they have been trying to communicate through 1,000 small moments. You are loved beyond measure. You are supported from realms you cannot see. You are connected to them still, not through shared physical space, but through bonds that death cannot break. And they want you to live, truly live, not just survive. They want you to find joy again. They want you to pursue dreams. They want you to love fearlessly. They want you to honor their memory by refusing to let grief destroy the beautiful life you still have ahead of you. So hear their voices today. Listen to what heaven is speaking over your life. Receive the blessing, the permission, the encouragement to step out of the darkness and into the light. Know that as you take each brave step forward, you do not walk alone. Heaven walks with you. Your loved ones cheer you on. And I, your Father in heaven, hold you close, guiding your path, healing your heart, and preparing you for all the beautiful things that are still to come. My dear child, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now and listen with your whole heart to what I am about to share with you. There is something so important, so life-changing, so absolutely critical that I need you to understand today. And if you miss this message, you might miss the very breakthrough that has been waiting for you all this time. I am not speaking to you as some distant, uncaring force in the universe. I am speaking to you as your Father, the one who knitted you together in your mother's womb, the one who knows every hair on your head, the one who has counted every tear you have ever cried and kept them all in a bottle because they matter that much to me. You see, my precious one, the love I have for you is not like any love you have ever experienced from another human being. Human love, no matter how genuine or well-intentioned, always has limits. It comes with conditions, spoken or unspoken. It depends on moods, circumstances, and whether you are meeting certain expectations. Human love can be withdrawn when you disappoint someone. It can grow cold when distance or time creates separation. It can fade when attraction diminishes or when difficulties arise. But my love for you is nothing like that. My love is eternal, unchanging, unshakable, and completely unconditional. Before you were even born, before your parents knew you existed, before you took your first breath of air into your lungs, I loved you. I saw every moment of your life from beginning to end, and I chose to love you through all of it. I saw the good days when you would make me proud, and the hard days when you would fall flat on your face. I saw the moments when you would run toward me with open arms, and the seasons when you would run away from me as fast as you could. I saw your victories and your defeats, your strengths and your weaknesses, your faith and your doubts, and knowing absolutely everything about you, both the beautiful and the broken, I decided that you were worth loving completely and forever. This is the foundation I need you to build your entire life upon. Not your own worthiness, because some days you will feel worthy and other days you will feel like a complete failure. Not other people's opinions of you, because those change like the wind depending on what you can do for them or how you make them feel. Not your accomplishments or achievements, because those come and go and can never truly satisfy the deepest longings of your soul. The only foundation that will hold you steady through every storm life throws at you is this unchangeable truth that I love you. I have always loved you, and I will always love you no matter what. Now I know you have been carrying some very heavy burdens lately. I see how tired you are, not just physically tired from the demands of daily life, but soul tired from the weight of disappointments, heartbreaks, unanswered prayers, and dreams that seem to have died before they ever had a chance to come to life. You wake up in the morning already feeling exhausted before your feet even hit the floor, because you know that another day of struggle is waiting for you. You go through the motions of living, putting on a brave face for the people around you, pretending everything is fine, when inside you feel like you are barely holding yourself together. You look at other people, and it seems like their lives are so much easier than yours. Their prayers seem to get answered quickly, while yours bounce off the ceiling. Their paths seem smooth and straight, while yours is full of obstacles and detours. Their relationships seem healthy and fulfilling, while yours are complicated and painful. Their finances seem stable, while yours feel like you are always one emergency away from disaster. And in your lowest moments, you wonder why I am blessing everyone else, but forgetting about you. You question whether I really see you, really hear you, really care about what you are going through. Let me tell you something that will change your entire perspective, if you really let it sink deep into your spirit. What you see when you look at other people's lives is not the whole story. You are seeing their highlight reel, their carefully curated public image, the version of themselves they want the world to see. But I see everything. I see the private struggles they hide behind closed doors. I see the tears they cry when no one is watching. I see the fears that haunt them in the middle of the night. I see the emptiness they feel despite all their outward success. Everyone, and I mean absolutely everyone, is fighting battles you know nothing about. More importantly, I need you to understand that I am not comparing you to anyone else. I am not measuring your worth based on how you stack up against other people. You are not in competition with your neighbors, your coworkers, your siblings, or anyone else. You are on your own unique journey, custom designed specifically for you, with challenges that are meant to develop specific qualities in you that will be needed for the specific purpose I have called you to fulfill. Nobody else can walk your path. Nobody else has your exact combination of gifts, experiences, relationships, and opportunities. You are absolutely irreplaceable in my plan. The struggles you are facing right now are not punishments for something you did wrong. They are not evidence that I have abandoned you, or that you are less important to me than other people. These struggles are actually the very tools I am using to shape you into the person you are destined to become. Think about how a diamond is formed. It starts as ordinary carbon, the same stuff you find in pencil lead, nothing special or valuable. But when that carbon is subjected to intense heat and enormous pressure over long periods of time, it transforms into one of the hardest, most beautiful, most valuable substances on Earth. The pressure is not trying to destroy the diamond. The pressure is creating the diamond. That is exactly what is happening in your life right now. The pressure you feel, the heat of your trials, the weight of your burdens, none of it is meant to break you down. All of it is meant to transform you, to refine you, to bring out the beauty and strength and character that is hidden inside you waiting to emerge. I am turning you into a diamond, my child, and diamonds are not created in comfort and ease. They are created under pressure. So when you feel the weight of difficult circumstances pressing down on you, remember that transformation is happening. When you feel the heat of trials making life uncomfortable, remember that purification is taking place. This is not destruction. This is creation. This is not an ending. This is a beginning. But I know that knowledge alone does not take away the pain you are feeling. Understanding the purpose of your struggle does not automatically make the struggle easier to bear. So I want you to know that I am not asking you to go through this alone. I am right here with you, closer than you can imagine, walking every step of this difficult road by your side. When you feel like you cannot take another step, my strength becomes your strength. When you feel like you cannot handle another disappointment, my peace guards your heart. When you feel like you cannot face another day, my joy becomes the fuel that keeps you going. You need to learn how to tap into this endless supply of strength, peace, and joy that I am offering you. And the way you tap into it is through connection with me. Just like a phone that is running out of battery needs to be plugged into a power source to recharge, you need to plug into me regularly to receive the power you need to keep going. This is not about following religious rules or checking off a list of spiritual duties. This is about relationship. This is about talking to me like you would talk to your best friend. Being honest about how you really feel, instead of trying to hide your doubts and struggles. This is about listening for my voice in the quiet moments, instead of filling every second of your day with noise and distraction. I know you have questions that seem to have no answers. You want to know why certain things happened the way they did. You want to know when your situation is going to change. You want to know what the future holds, so you can prepare yourself. And I understand that desire for clarity, that longing for certainty in an uncertain world. But I need you to trust me, even when you cannot see the whole picture. I need you to believe that I know what I am doing, even when my ways do not make sense to you. I need you to have faith that I am working everything out for your good, even when the current circumstances look bad. This kind of trust does not come naturally. It goes against every human instinct you have. Your natural inclination is to try to control your environment, to figure everything out, to have backup plans for your backup plans. But that constant need for control is actually what keeps you in a state of anxiety and stress. You are trying to carry burdens that you were never designed to carry. You are trying to solve problems that only I have the wisdom and power to solve. You are trying to manage outcomes that are completely outside your ability to manage. And the weight of all that responsibility that was never yours in the first place is crushing you. What if you could just let go? What if you could release your grip on all the things you are trying so hard to control? What if you could trust me enough to believe that I am going to take care of you, that I am going to work things out, that I am going to provide what you need exactly when you need it? This is not irresponsible passivity. This is active faith. This is choosing to believe that I am good, even when life is hard. This is deciding that my character does not change based on your circumstances. This is resting in the truth that I have never failed anyone who truly put their trust in me, and I am not about to start with you. Now, I want to talk to you about something that might be creating a barrier between us, something that is preventing you from receiving all the love and blessing I want to pour into your life. I am talking about the guilt and shame you are carrying from your past mistakes. You have done things you are not proud of. You have made choices that hurt yourself and others. You have failed in ways that still haunt you when you lie awake at night. And even though you may have asked me to forgive you, even though your mind might understand that I have forgiven you, your heart is still holding on to that guilt like it is something you deserve to carry forever. Let me be absolutely clear about this. When I forgive you, I do not just cover up your sin and pretend it did not happen. I completely remove it from you, as far as the east is from the west, and I remember it no more. Your past failures are not defining your identity anymore. Your old mistakes are not determining your future. The person you used to be is not who you are now. You have been made new. You have been given a fresh start. You have been washed clean. And I need you to start seeing yourself the way I see you: holy, blameless, dearly loved, and completely forgiven. The enemy of your soul loves to keep you trapped in cycles of guilt and shame, because he knows that people who feel condemned do not live in freedom. People who are weighed down by their past cannot move forward into their future. People who are constantly rehearsing their failures do not have the energy or confidence to pursue their dreams. So he whispers accusations in your ear, reminding you of everything you have ever done wrong, trying to convince you that you are damaged goods, that you do not deserve good things, that you should just accept a mediocre life because you have disqualified yourself from anything better. But those are lies, my precious child. Lies from the pit of hell designed to keep you stuck, small, and ineffective. The truth is that I not only forgive your sins, I also redeem your mistakes. I take the very things you are most ashamed of, and I weave them into your story in ways that end up bringing glory to my name and help to other people. Your past does not disqualify you from being used by me. In many cases, your past actually qualifies you to help people who are going through similar struggles. Your testimony of how I brought you through darkness into light gives hope to people who are still stumbling in the shadows. This is why the enemy works so hard to keep you silent about what I have done in your life. He does not want you sharing your story, because your story has power to set other people free. When you stand up and say, "This is where I was. This is what I went through. This is how bad it got. But look at where I am now because of what God did for me," something shifts in the spiritual atmosphere. Other people start to believe that if I could do it for you, maybe I can do it for them too. Your vulnerability becomes a weapon that destroys the enemy's lies. Your transparency creates permission for others to be honest about their own struggles, instead of hiding behind masks of perfection. So I am asking you today to make a decision. Are you going to keep carrying guilt and shame that I have already taken from you? Or are you going to walk in the freedom I purchased for you? Are you going to keep listening to accusations from the enemy? Or are you going to start declaring the truth of who you are in me? Are you going to keep hiding your story in shame? Or are you going to start sharing your testimony with courage? The choice is yours. I have already done my part. Now you need to do yours by receiving what I am offering and walking in it. And speaking of making choices, I want you to make a choice right now that could change the trajectory of your entire life. I want you to subscribe to this channel and make a commitment to regularly receive messages that will strengthen your faith, encourage your heart, and remind you of truth when the world is shouting lies at you. This is not just about clicking a button. This is about surrounding yourself with voices that speak life. This is about creating an environment where your faith can grow instead of shrink. This is about intentionally choosing to feed your spirit with good things, instead of allowing the negativity of the world to poison your mind. You see, what you consume on a daily basis shapes who you become. If you spend most of your time watching news that fills you with fear, scrolling through social media that makes you feel inadequate, listening to music that glorifies destructive behavior, and surrounding yourself with people who pull you down instead of lifting you up, it is going to be very difficult to maintain a positive, faith-filled outlook on life. But if you make deliberate choices to consume content that builds your faith, if you seek out messages that remind you of my promises, if you surround yourself with people who encourage you to be your best self, you will find that your entire perspective begins to shift. This channel is one tool I am providing to help you in that process. Every video is designed to speak truth into your life, to combat the lies you have believed, to strengthen your resolve to keep going when you feel like quitting. By subscribing, you are making a statement that you are serious about your spiritual growth, that you value encouragement and wisdom, that you want to be part of a community of believers who are all pursuing the same goal of becoming more like me. So please, do not scroll past this moment. Take action right now. Click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and commit to showing up regularly to receive the nourishment your soul desperately needs. Now, let me address something that I know has been causing you tremendous pain. You have people in your life who you love deeply, people you would do anything for, people whose well-being matters more to you than your own. And right now, some of those people are walking paths that break your heart. Maybe it is your children who have turned away from everything you taught them. Maybe it is your spouse who seems distant and disconnected. Maybe it is your parents who refuse to acknowledge their own need for healing. Maybe it is friends who have betrayed your trust. Whoever they are, watching them make destructive choices while you stand by feeling helpless is one of the most painful experiences a human can go through. I want you to know that I see your pain over these people you love. I feel your heartbreak when you watch them suffer consequences of bad decisions. I hear your prayers that you cry out in the middle of the night, begging me to intervene in their lives. And I want to tell you something that might surprise you. I love them even more than you do. I care about their well-being even more deeply than you care about it. I am even more invested in their transformation than you are. And I am already at work in their lives in ways that you cannot see. The problem is that you are trying to do my job for them. You are trying to be their savior when that is my role, not yours. You are trying to force change that can only come from willing hearts. You are trying to control their journey when they have to choose their own path. And all of this effort to fix them, help them, save them from themselves is actually exhausting you and preventing you from living your own life fully. I need you to learn the difficult but essential skill of loving people without taking responsibility for their choices. You can care deeply about someone without carrying the weight of their decisions. You can pray for them faithfully without trying to manipulate outcomes. You can be a source of support and encouragement without enabling destructive behavior. You can keep the door open for reconciliation without allowing yourself to be repeatedly wounded by people who are not yet ready to change. This kind of healthy love requires boundaries. It requires you to recognize where your responsibility ends and theirs begins. It requires you to accept that you cannot want transformation for someone more than they want it for themselves. It requires you to trust me with the people you love instead of trying to play God in their lives. And I know this is hard. I know every fiber of your being wants to rescue them, to shield them from consequences, to do whatever it takes to make things better for them right now. But sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and let me work. You see, there are lessons that can only be learned through experience. There are realizations that only come when someone hits rock bottom and finally looks up. There are transformations that only happen when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. And if you keep running interference, if you keep cushioning every fall, if you keep rescuing them from every consequence, you might actually be preventing the very breakthrough that needs to happen in their lives. I know this sounds harsh. I know it goes against every parental instinct, every friend's desire to help. But I need you to trust that I know what I am doing. I need you to believe that sometimes what looks like me allowing suffering is actually me creating the conditions necessary for growth. I need you to have faith that the same love that led me to rescue you when you were lost is leading me in how I deal with the people you are worried about. And here is what you might not realize. While you have been so focused on their problems, your own spiritual growth has stagnated. While you have been pouring all your energy into trying to change them, you have neglected your own transformation. While you have been consumed with their journey, you have wandered off your own path. I am not saying you should stop caring about them. I am saying you need to recalibrate your priorities and recognize that the most powerful thing you can do for anyone is to become healthy and whole yourself. When you are walking in freedom, you become a living example of what is possible. When you are experiencing my peace, despite difficult circumstances, you show others that there is another way to live. When you are choosing joy in the midst of trials, you demonstrate that happiness is not dependent on everything going right. Your transformed life becomes a more powerful sermon than any words you could preach. Your personal growth creates an atmosphere where others start to believe they can grow too. Your healing journey inspires hope in people who have given up on their own healing. So instead of obsessing over why your loved ones are not changing, focus on your own continued transformation. Instead of trying to fix everyone else, work on allowing me to fix the broken places in you. Instead of pointing out everyone else's flaws, bring your own weaknesses to me for refinement. As you do this, as you shift your focus from their journey to your own, something miraculous begins to happen. The people you have been so worried about start to notice something different about you. They see a peace they do not have. They observe a strength they wish they possessed. They witness a joy that cannot be explained by your circumstances. And that difference in you creates a hunger in them for what you have found. This is how transformation often works. Not through lectures and nagging and trying to control people into better behavior, but through the quiet power of a changed life that makes others want what you have. So be patient, keep praying, set healthy boundaries, love them well, but most importantly, focus on your own relationship with me and let your transformed life be the greatest testimony to my power. Now, I want to talk to you about provision, because I know this is an area where you are experiencing significant stress and anxiety. Money is tight. Bills are piling up. Unexpected expenses keep arising. You are working as hard as you can, and it still does not seem like enough. You lie awake at night doing mental math, trying to figure out how you are going to make ends meet, wondering how you will ever get ahead, instead of just barely surviving. And in your lowest moments, you wonder if I even see your struggle, if I care that you are drowning financially, if I am going to do anything to help your situation. Let me answer those questions clearly. Yes, I see your struggle. Every single need you have is visible to me. Not only do I see your current lack, I also see what you are going to need in the future, and I am already making arrangements to provide it. Yes, I care deeply about your financial stress. I know that money problems create pressure in every other area of your life. I understand that financial strain affects your relationships, your health, your peace of mind, and your ability to focus on anything else. I am not a distant God who is unconcerned with practical matters. I care about everything that concerns you. And yes, I am absolutely going to help your situation. But I need you to understand something important about how I work. I am not a cosmic vending machine where you put in prayers and good behavior and out pops money. I am your Father who knows what you need before you even ask, who sees the bigger picture of your life, who is working all things together for your good, even when you cannot see how that is possible. Sometimes I provide through miraculous, unexpected provision. Sometimes I provide through opening doors to new opportunities. Sometimes I provide through teaching you better stewardship of what you already have. Sometimes I provide by changing your desires so you are content with less. What I need from you is trust, not blind faith that ignores practical wisdom, not naive belief that you can sit back and do nothing while I drop money from the sky, but genuine trust that if you are faithful with what I have given you, if you are generous with what little you have, if you seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, then all the things you need will be added to you. This is a promise I have made, and I have never broken a promise. The problem is that most people want me to provide before they trust. They want to see the money in the bank before they believe I am faithful. They want the bills paid before they stop worrying. They want financial security before they are willing to be generous. But that is backwards. Faith comes before provision. Trust precedes the miracle. Obedience opens the door for blessing. If you wait until you can see how everything is going to work out before you trust me, you are not walking by faith. You are walking by sight, and the Christian life is built on faith, not sight. So what does this look like practically? It means you take the next step I am showing you, even when you cannot see the entire staircase. It means you are faithful with the small amount you have instead of despising it and wishing for more. It means you honor me with your finances, even when it seems like you cannot afford to. It means you are generous to others, even when your own resources are limited. It means you make wise decisions with money, while trusting that ultimately, your provision comes from me, not your job or your investments or your own cleverness. This kind of financial faith will be tested. There will be times when you write that tithe check and wonder how you are going to have enough left to pay your other bills. There will be moments when you feel prompted to give to someone in need, and your logical mind screams that you cannot afford it. There will be opportunities where you have to choose between playing it safe or stepping out in faith to pursue something I am calling you to do. These are not random occurrences. These are divine tests that are designed to show you where your true trust lies. Are you ultimately trusting in money to take care of you, or are you trusting in me? Are you putting your faith in your own ability to earn and save, Or are you putting your faith in my promise to provide? I am not against you having money. I am not trying to keep you in poverty. In fact, I want to prosper you, to bless you abundantly, to give you more than enough so you can be a blessing to others. But I cannot trust you with great wealth if you are going to forget me the moment you feel financially secure. I cannot give you more resources if you are going to become greedy, selfish, and self-reliant. I cannot promote you to greater levels of provision if you have not learned to be faithful with the little you currently have. So right now, in this season of lack, I am actually preparing you for the season of abundance that is coming. I am teaching you lessons about faith, generosity, contentment, and dependence on me that you could never learn if your bank account was overflowing. I am developing character in you that will keep you grounded when blessings start flowing. I am training you how to manage resources well, so that when I release more, you will steward it wisely instead of wasting it. Every difficult financial season you walk through with faith intact is building testimony for the future. When I eventually prosper you, you will be able to tell people about how I provided when you had nothing, how I multiplied the little you had, how I made a way when there seemed to be no way. And your story will give others courage to trust me in their own financial struggles. Your testimony will destroy the lie that God does not care about practical needs. Your experience will prove that I am faithful to provide for those who put their trust in me. So do not despise this season of financial pressure. Do not waste it by complaining and worrying and doubting my goodness. Instead, use it as an opportunity to develop unshakable faith in my provision. Use it to practice generosity, even when resources are scarce. Use it to learn contentment with what you have while still believing for more. Use it to prove to yourself and to the watching world that your security is not in money but in me. When you come through this season with your faith intact, with testimonies of miraculous provision, with a track record of faithfulness in financial stewardship, you will be ready for the abundance I want to release into your hands. My beloved child, I also need to address the disappointment you are carrying over prayers that seem unanswered, over promises that appear unfulfilled, over dreams that look dead. You prayed earnestly for healing and the sickness remained. You prayed faithfully for a relationship to be restored, and it ended anyway. You prayed desperately for a job opportunity, and the door slammed shut. You prayed hopefully for a financial miracle, and you are still struggling, and each unanswered prayer has chipped away at your faith a little bit more. Until now you are not sure if prayer even works, if I even listen, if there is any point in continuing to ask. I understand this frustration. I know how discouraging it feels to pour your heart out in prayer and see no visible results. I am aware of the battle going on in your mind between wanting to keep believing and being tempted to give up on faith altogether. And I want to speak directly into this place of disappointment and doubt with truth that has the power to restore your hope if you will receive it. First, I need you to know that I hear every single prayer you pray. Not one word you speak to me falls on deaf ears. Every request, every cry, every whisper in the middle of the night is heard by me. There is no prayer too small for my attention, and no prayer too big for my ability. I am never too busy to listen. I am never too distracted to care. I am never too far away to reach you. The question is not whether I hear your prayers. The question is whether you trust me enough to accept my answers, which are not always yes and not always immediate. Sometimes my answer is yes, but not yet. The thing you are asking for is something I fully intend to give you, but the timing is not right. There are pieces that need to fall into place first. There are lessons you need to learn before you are ready to receive what you are requesting. There are other people involved whose choices and timing affect when your prayer can be answered. There is preparation work that needs to happen in the spiritual realm before manifestation occurs in the natural realm. So my answer is not no. It is wait. Keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting. The yes is coming, but you must be patient for my perfect timing. Sometimes my answer is no. But I have something better. What you are asking for seems good from your limited perspective, but I can see things you cannot see. I know that giving you what you are requesting right now would actually hurt you in the long run. I understand that you think you need a specific thing, but I know you actually need something completely different. I love you too much to give you what you want when I know it is not what is best for you. So I deny your request, not because I do not care, but because I care too much to give you something that would ultimately bring harm instead of help. And sometimes my answer is no, because what you are asking for is not aligned with my will for your life. You are asking me to bless a relationship that I know is toxic. You are asking me to open a door that I have deliberately closed for your protection. You are asking me to give you something that would pull you away from my purposes instead of toward them. In these cases, my no is actually a protection, a redirection, a loving intervention that is guiding you toward the path that leads to life, even though right now you cannot see why I am blocking the path you want to take. The key to maintaining faith through seasons of unanswered prayer is remembering that I am good, even when you do not understand my ways. My character does not change based on whether I am giving you what you ask for or not. I am still loving, still wise, still powerful, still completely trustworthy, even when my answer is wait or no. The delay in answering your prayer does not mean I have forgotten you. The denial of your request does not mean I do not love you. It simply means I am working from an eternal perspective that takes into account factors you cannot possibly see from your limited human viewpoint. So keep praying. Do not give up. Do not stop bringing your requests to me, but also learn to pray with surrendered hands, with a posture that says I am asking for what I want, but ultimately I trust you to give me what I need. Pray with faith that believes I can do anything, combined with humility that acknowledges you do not always know what is best. Pray with persistence that keeps knocking on the door, mixed with patience that is willing to wait for my timing. This is the kind of prayer that pleases me and positions you to receive from my hand. Now, my precious child, I want you to picture something beautiful with me. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a dark room, and suddenly someone turns on the brightest, warmest light you have ever seen. That light does not just illuminate the corners of the room. It transforms everything. Shadows that looked frightening become harmless. Objects that seemed confusing become clear. Colors that were hidden in darkness suddenly burst forth in brilliant display. This is exactly what happens when you allow my presence to fill your life completely. I am that light, and when I shine into your circumstances, everything changes. What looked impossible suddenly becomes possible. Problems that seemed overwhelming suddenly become manageable. Fears that paralyzed you suddenly lose their power. This is not magic or wishful thinking. This is the reality of what happens when divine light encounters human darkness. My presence does not just make things look better. It actually makes things better. It transforms situations from the inside out. It changes not just your perception, but the actual reality you are living in. And I want you to experience this transformation in every area of your life that currently feels dark, confusing, or hopeless. Think about the challenges you are facing right now. Maybe it is a relationship that feels broken beyond repair. Maybe it is a financial situation that keeps getting worse no matter what you try. Maybe it is a health issue that doctors cannot seem to fix. Maybe it is an addiction that has you in chains you cannot break on your own. Maybe it is a mental or emotional struggle that makes every day feel like climbing a mountain with weights tied to your ankles. Whatever it is, I want you to understand something crucial. That challenge is not just a random accident or bad luck. That challenge is actually an opportunity disguised as a problem. I know that sounds strange. How can something that hurts so much be an opportunity? Let me explain. Every challenge you face reveals something important about your character, your faith, and your dependence on me. When life is easy and everything is going well, you do not really know how strong you are. You do not discover what you are truly made of. You do not learn to rely on resources beyond your own abilities. But when challenges come, when pressure builds, when circumstances push you to your breaking point, that is when you find out what you are really capable of. That is when you discover strengths you never knew you had. That is when you learn to tap into supernatural power that goes beyond anything human effort can produce. So instead of looking at your challenges as enemies trying to destroy you, start seeing them as teachers trying to develop you. Every obstacle is actually an obstacle course designed to make you stronger, faster, wiser, and more skilled. Every setback is actually a setup for a comeback that will be more powerful than anything you could have achieved without going through the difficulty. Every failure is actually fertile ground where seeds of future success are being planted. The very thing that looks like it is working against you is actually working for you in ways you cannot see yet. This requires a complete shift in how you think about problems. Most people spend all their energy trying to avoid difficulties, running from challenges, looking for the easy path that requires the least amount of struggle. But that is actually the path that produces the weakest version of yourself. If you want to become everything you are capable of becoming, if you want to fulfill the destiny I have designed specifically for you, you need to stop running from hard things and start running toward them with courage and faith. You need to stop asking me to remove every challenge and start asking me to give you the strength to overcome every challenge. When you face your difficulties head on instead of trying to escape them, something powerful happens in your spirit. You develop resilience, which is the ability to bounce back from setbacks instead of being permanently damaged by them. You develop perseverance, which is the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. You develop wisdom, which comes from learning lessons through experience rather than just hearing about them in theory. You develop compassion, which flows from understanding pain because you have walked through it yourself. All of these qualities are absolutely essential for the journey ahead of you, and they cannot be developed in comfortable circumstances. They can only be forged in the fire of adversity. So when you are going through something difficult right now, I need you to change the question you are asking. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this developing in me?" Start asking, "When will this end?" and start asking, "What am I supposed to learn before this season is over?" Stop asking, "How can I escape this?" and start asking, "How can I grow through this?" This shift in perspective will change everything about how you experience hard times. You will stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being a student of your circumstances. You will stop feeling powerless and start discovering power you did not know you possessed. And here is something else I want you to understand. The changes and growth that are happening in you right now might not be immediately visible. Just like a seed planted in the ground does not show any sign of life for days or even weeks. The transformation taking place in your spirit might be invisible to your natural eyes for a while, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Underground, in the hidden places, roots are growing deep. Strength is being developed. Life is preparing to burst forth. And one morning you are going to wake up and suddenly realize that you are not the same person you were when this season started. You will notice that things that used to devastate you barely affect you anymore. You will discover that you have peace in situations that used to create panic. You will recognize that you have become someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined possible. This is my promise to you. Every single day, even the difficult ones, carries its own unique gifts and victories. Your job is to look for them. Do not let the pain of the moment blind you to the progress you are making. Do not let temporary setbacks convince you that nothing good is happening. Every morning when you open your eyes, there are new mercies waiting for you. There are new opportunities to experience my goodness. There are new chances to see my faithfulness in action. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention. Notice the small blessings that are easy to overlook when you are focused on big problems. Those small blessings are actually evidences of my constant presence and care for you. Maybe it is a friend who calls at exactly the right moment when you needed to hear a kind voice. Maybe it is an unexpected check in the mail that arrives just when you did not know how you were going to pay a bill. Maybe it is a beautiful sunset that reminds you that the same God who paints the sky with such beauty is painting your life with purpose and meaning. Maybe it is a song on the radio with lyrics that speak directly to your situation. Maybe it is a peaceful feeling that washes over you in the middle of a stressful day. These are not coincidences. These are kisses from heaven. These are my way of saying I see you, I am with you, and I am working on your behalf, even when you cannot see the full picture of what I am doing. Hold these moments close to your heart. Remember them when doubt tries to creep in. Rehearse them when fear tries to take over. Let them strengthen your faith and remind you that you are not walking through this journey alone. I am right here, every step of the way, loving you, guiding you, providing for you, and working all things together for your good. As you move forward, let the core of peace, joy, and love that flows from my spirit transform both your inner world and your outer circumstances. Let it change how you think, how you feel, how you respond to situations, and how you treat the people around you. Now, I need to address something important. As you embrace this new chapter of your life, as you step into the transformation I am offering, there is going to be a temptation to fall back into old patterns. Fear is going to knock on your door and try to convince you to make decisions based on worst-case scenarios instead of faith-filled possibilities. Worry is going to whisper lies about the future and try to steal your peace in the present. Anxiety is going to attempt to overwhelm you with all the what-ifs and unknowns that lie ahead. And you need to be prepared for these attacks so you are not caught off guard when they come. The key to victory over fear, worry, and anxiety is remembering that you are never alone. I am always with you, in every moment, through every circumstance, no matter how difficult or confusing things might seem. My presence is not dependent on you feeling it. My love is not conditional on you being perfect. My commitment to you is not shaken by your doubts or weakened by your failures. I am constant. I am unchanging. I am absolutely reliable. And when fear comes knocking, you need to answer the door with truth. You need to speak out loud if necessary and say, I am not alone. My Father in heaven is with me. He has promised never to leave me or forsake me. He has given me everything I need to handle whatever comes my way. I do not have to be afraid, because I am not facing this by myself. This is not just positive thinking, or trying to convince yourself of something that might not be true. This is declaring absolute truth that has the power to shift spiritual atmospheres and change natural circumstances. When you speak my promises out loud, when you declare who I am and what I have said, you are actually engaging in spiritual warfare. You are pushing back against the kingdom of darkness that wants to keep you trapped in fear and stepping into the kingdom of light where faith, hope, and love reign supreme. Your words have power, my child. Use them wisely. Use them to build up your faith instead of tearing it down. Use them to declare victory instead of predicting defeat. Use them to speak life into your situation instead of agreeing with death and destruction. And as you are walking this path of transformation, as you are learning to live in freedom from fear and worry, I want you to do something that might seem counterintuitive. I want you to share what you are learning with others. I want you to become a source of encouragement and hope for people who are still trapped in the very darkness you are emerging from. You see, one of the enemy's most effective strategies is isolation. He wants you to believe that you are the only one struggling, that everyone else has it all together, that your problems are unique and too shameful to share with anyone. But that is a lie designed to keep you stuck. The truth is that almost everyone you meet is fighting battles you know nothing about. Almost everyone is dealing with fears, doubts, struggles, and pain that they hide behind smiles and carefully constructed public images. And when you are brave enough to be honest about your own journey, when you share your struggles and how I am bringing you through them, you create permission for others to be honest too. You break the power of shame and secrecy. You shine light into darkness. You give hope to people who have given up on the possibility of things ever getting better. Your story becomes a bridge that helps others cross from despair into hope. So right now, I want you to make a commitment that is going to multiply the impact of everything you are learning. I want you to subscribe to this channel and then share these messages with people in your life who need encouragement. Do not keep this to yourself. Do not hoard the truth and hope you are receiving. Become a distributor of grace. Become a carrier of light. Become someone who intentionally spreads hope wherever you go. When you do this, something beautiful happens. Not only do you help others, but you also strengthen your own faith. Teaching truth to someone else reinforces that truth in your own heart. Encouraging someone else reminds you of the encouragement you have received. Giving away hope multiplies the hope you have. So click that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notifications so you do not miss any messages. And then think of at least 3 people you know who need to hear these truths, and send them the link to this video. Tell them briefly why you think they need to watch it. Let them know that it has helped you, and you believe it will help them too. This simple act of generosity and compassion could change someone's life today. It could be the very thing that pulls someone back from the edge of giving up. It could plant a seed of hope that grows into a harvest of transformation. Do not underestimate the power of sharing good news with people who desperately need it. Now, I want to talk to you about something that might be creating unnecessary stress and struggle in your life. I am talking about your relationships, particularly the relationships with people you care about deeply, but who seem to be making choices that hurt you or themselves. Maybe it is your children who have rejected the values you tried to instill in them. Maybe it is your spouse who seems emotionally distant and disconnected. Maybe it is your parents who refuse to deal with their own issues, but constantly criticize you. Maybe it is friends who take advantage of your kindness and never reciprocate the care you show them. Whoever these people are, the pain of watching them struggle or the frustration of being hurt by them is real and significant. Here is what I need you to understand. You cannot control other people's choices. You cannot force anyone to change. You cannot love someone so intensely that they have no option but to become the person you want them to be. Every human being has free will, the ability to make their own decisions, even when those decisions are destructive. And while this can be incredibly frustrating for you, especially when you can clearly see the consequences they are heading toward, you have to respect their right to choose their own path. Your job is not to be their savior or to fix them. Your job is to love them, pray for them, set healthy boundaries with them, and trust me to work in their lives in my timing and my way. I know you have been praying for some of these people for a long time. I know you have shed tears over their choices. I know you have lost sleep wondering if they are okay. I know you have had countless conversations trying to help them see what they are doing wrong. And I want you to know that none of that has been wasted. Every prayer you have prayed is being heard and answered, even if you cannot see the results yet. Every tear you have cried has been collected and valued. Every attempt you have made to help has been noted, even if it seemed to fall on deaf ears at the time. But now I need you to release them into my hands and trust that I love them even more than you do. And I am working in their lives in ways you cannot see. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you give up on them completely. It does not mean you cut them out of your life, unless their behavior is genuinely dangerous or abusive. What it means is that you stop trying to carry a burden that was never meant for your shoulders. What it means is that you stop losing sleep over things you cannot control. What it means is that you stop allowing their choices to determine your peace and joy. You can love people without being destroyed by their dysfunction. You can care about people without being consumed by their chaos. You can pray for people without being pulled into their drama. And here is what often happens when you finally release people to me and stop trying to control their journey. Paradoxically, that is often when breakthrough begins to happen in their lives. You see, sometimes your constant intervention, your endless attempts to fix them, your refusal to let them experience consequences, is actually preventing them from hitting the bottom that finally makes them look up. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and let me work. Sometimes your withdrawal of the rescue operation you have been running is exactly what creates the crisis that leads to change. I am not saying this to make you feel guilty for having cared or to suggest that loving people is wrong. I am saying this to free you from the exhausting and impossible task of trying to save everyone you love. That is my job, not yours. Your job is to be healthy yourself, to work on your own growth and healing, to become the best version of yourself you can be. As you do that, as you become stronger and healthier, you actually become a more effective influence in other people's lives. Your peace becomes attractive to people who live in chaos. Your joy becomes appealing to people who are drowning in depression. Your faith becomes inspiring to people who have given up hope. You do not have to preach at them or lecture them or try to convince them to change. You just have to live well and let your life speak for itself. So take your hands off the people you have been trying to control and put your hands in my hands instead. Let me carry the burdens that are crushing you. Let me work in the lives of the people you love in ways that are far more effective than anything you could do. Let me be God while you simply be my child who loves people well, but does not try to play savior in their lives. This shift will bring you tremendous relief and freedom. It will lower your stress levels dramatically. It will allow you to sleep peacefully at night, knowing that the people you love are in hands that are far more capable than yours, and it will position you to actually enjoy your relationships instead of constantly being frustrated by them. Now, let me talk to you about something that I know is weighing heavily on many people's hearts. I am talking about provision, about finances, about having enough to take care of yourself and the people who depend on you. Money stress is one of the most common and most draining forms of anxiety that people experience. When you do not know how you are going to pay your bills, when you are one emergency away from financial disaster, when you are working as hard as you can, and it still does not seem like enough, it affects everything else in your life. It strains your relationships. It impacts your health. It steals your peace. It makes it very difficult to focus on spiritual growth when you are consumed with financial survival. So I want to speak directly into this area of struggle and bring you truth that has the power to shift your financial reality. First, I need you to know that I am fully aware of your financial situation. I know exactly how much money you have, how much you owe, and what your needs are. Nothing about your finances surprises me or overwhelms me. I am not worried about how you are going to make it through the month. I am not stressed about that bill you do not know how you are going to pay. I am not panicking about your lack of resources. Why? Because I own everything. All the resources in the entire universe belong to me. I have unlimited ability to provide for you. The question is never whether I can meet your needs. The question is whether you will trust me enough to obey what I tell you to do, even when it does not make financial sense. You see, my ways of providing often look foolish to human wisdom. I might tell you to give when logic says you cannot afford to. I might direct you to walk away from a lucrative opportunity because I know it is not aligned with my best plan for you. I might close doors that look like your financial salvation because I have something better waiting that you cannot see yet. I might ask you to take a risk that looks financially irresponsible because I am about to do something miraculous that requires you to step out in faith first. And if you are only willing to obey me when my instructions make sense to you, when you can see how it is all going to work out, then you are not really trusting me. You are trusting your own understanding. Real trust, genuine faith, looks like taking the next step I am showing you, even when you cannot see the whole staircase. It looks like being generous with what little you have, instead of hoarding every penny out of fear. It looks like honoring me with your finances through tithing and giving even when it seems like you cannot afford it. It looks like making decisions based on my guidance rather than purely on financial considerations. And I promise you, absolutely guarantee you, that when you trust me with your finances, when you put me first even in this practical area of life, I will take care of you in ways that defy human explanation. You will experience provision that cannot be traced back to your salary or your budget. You will have needs met through unexpected sources that show up at exactly the right time. You will find that your money stretches further than mathematics can explain. You will discover peace about your finances even when your bank account does not look any different yet. This is what it means to live by faith, and it is a far better way to live than constantly worrying, scheming, and trying to figure everything out on your own. So if you are struggling financially right now, instead of panicking, talk to me. Ask me what I want you to do. Listen for my guidance. Obey what I tell you even if it seems counterintuitive. Watch what I will do when you trust me with your resources. Now, I want to address something that many people struggle with but few talk about openly. I am talking about the disappointment of unanswered prayers, the pain of waiting for breakthrough that has not come yet, the frustration of believing my promises while circumstances seem to contradict everything I have said. You have been praying for something for a long time. Maybe it is healing from an illness that continues to plague you. Maybe it is restoration of a relationship that ended badly. Maybe it is provision for a financial need that keeps getting more desperate instead of better. Maybe it is a door to open for an opportunity you believe I have promised, and you do not understand why I have not answered yet. You wonder if you did something wrong, if you do not have enough faith, if I even hear your prayers. Let me be absolutely clear. I hear every single prayer you pray. There is not one word you speak to me that goes unnoticed. There is not one cry of your heart that I dismiss as unimportant. There is not one request you make that I have not considered carefully. I am not ignoring you. I am not too busy with other things to pay attention to your needs. I am not waiting for you to earn my response through perfect behavior or sufficient faith. I hear you. I see you. I care deeply about what you are going through. But my answer might not be what you are expecting, and my timing might not align with your timeline. Sometimes my answer is yes, but not yet. The thing you are asking for is absolutely something I intend to give you, but the timing is not right. There are circumstances that need to align first. There are lessons you need to learn before you are ready to handle what you are requesting. There are other people involved whose free will affects when your prayer can be answered. There is preparation work happening in the spiritual realm that must be completed before manifestation occurs in the natural realm. So keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting. The yes is coming, but patience is required. Sometimes my answer is no, but I have something better. What you are asking for seems like the perfect solution from your limited perspective. But I can see things you cannot see. I know that giving you what you are requesting would actually lead to problems you are not anticipating. I understand that what you think you need is not actually what is best for you. I love you too much to give you something that would ultimately cause harm, no matter how much you want it right now. So I am denying your specific request while working behind the scenes to bring you something far better than you imagined. Trust that my no is actually a protection, a redirection towards something superior. And sometimes my answer is no, because what you are asking for is not aligned with my will for your life. You are asking me to bless something I have already said is not good for you. You are asking me to open a door I have deliberately closed for your protection. You are asking me to give you something that would pull you away from the path I have designed for you. And because I love you, because I want what is truly best for you, I am going to keep that door closed, no matter how hard you push against it. I am going to withhold that thing you think you must have, because I know that having it would actually derail your destiny. The key to peace in the midst of unanswered prayer is trusting that I am good, even when you do not understand my ways. My character does not change based on whether I am giving you what you ask for. I am still loving, still wise, still powerful, still completely trustworthy. The delay does not mean I have forgotten you. The denial does not mean I do not care. It simply means I am operating from a perspective that sees the entire story of your life from beginning to end. And I am making decisions based on what will serve your highest good in the long run, not just what will make you feel better in this moment. So keep bringing your requests to me. Keep pouring out your heart. Keep asking, seeking, knocking, but also learn to pray with surrendered hands, with a posture that says, I am telling you what I want, but ultimately I trust you to give me what I need. Combine bold faith that believes I can do anything with humble surrender that acknowledges you do not always know what is best. This is mature faith, and it positions you to receive from me in ways that people who demand their own way never experience. My dear child, as you continue walking forward on this sacred journey that we are sharing together, I want you to understand something that will revolutionize how you see every single challenge that crosses your path. Right now, in this very moment, my spirit is surrounding you like a protective shield, moving through every shadow that tries to frighten you, penetrating every unknown territory that tries to make you anxious. I am asking you to trust me in a way that goes deeper than anything you have experienced before. This trust is not just about believing I exist or acknowledging that I have power. This trust is about surrendering every outcome to me, about releasing your need to control how things unfold, about accepting that my ways are so much higher than your ways that sometimes what looks like failure to your human eyes is actually the setup for the greatest victory of your life. Think about the journey you have been on up until this point. You have walked through valleys so dark that you wondered if morning would ever come. You have climbed mountains so steep that every step felt impossible. You have crossed deserts so dry that you thought you might perish before reaching the other side. But look at where you are right now. You are still here. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You have survived 100% of your worst days, and that is not coincidence or luck. That is my faithfulness holding you together when everything around you was falling apart. That is my strength carrying you when your own strength ran out. That is my love refusing to let you go even when you wanted to give up on yourself. Every battle you have fought, every obstacle you have overcome, every tear you have cried, every prayer you have whispered into the darkness has been building something inside you that you cannot see yet, but will soon become visible to everyone around you. I am developing character in you that cannot be formed any other way, except through pressure and testing. I am creating wisdom in you that only comes from walking through difficult experiences and learning lessons that textbooks cannot teach. I am forging strength in you that will make you unshakable in the storms that lie ahead. And all of this preparation, all of this refining, all of this transformation is because I have such incredible plans for your future that you need to be ready to handle the blessings I am about to release into your life. You see, my precious one, the gifts I have stored up for you are not small, insignificant things. They are massive, life-changing, destiny-altering blessings that require you to have the capacity to receive them and steward them well. If I gave you everything you are asking for right now, in your current state of development, it would overwhelm you. It would crush you under its weight. It would expose weaknesses in your character that would cause you to lose what I am trying to give you. So I am using this season, this difficult season that you wish would end, to prepare you for what is coming. I am strengthening the foundation of your life so that when the building goes up, it can stand firm against any storm. Do not despise this preparation time. Do not waste these days wishing you were somewhere else or someone else. Embrace where you are right now and extract every lesson, every bit of growth, every ounce of development that this season has to offer you. Because I promise you, absolutely guarantee you, that when you come out on the other side of this, you will look back and understand why every single difficulty was necessary. You will see how each challenge was perfectly designed to develop specific qualities in you that you needed for the next level. You will recognize that what looked random and cruel was actually precise and loving, orchestrated by a father who sees the end from the beginning and knows exactly what you need. Now, I want to speak to you about something that is absolutely critical for your breakthrough. Something that many people miss and therefore remain stuck in cycles of disappointment and frustration. I am talking about the condition of your heart, the internal landscape of your spirit, the hidden attitudes and beliefs that you carry deep inside where no one else can see. But I can see everything. You cannot receive the blessings I want to pour into your life if your heart is clogged with bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, and offense. These toxic emotions create barriers that block the flow of my goodness into your life. They are like dams that stop the river of blessing from reaching you. Think about someone who has hurt you deeply, someone whose actions still make you angry when you remember them, someone you have not fully forgiven, even though the offense happened long ago. That unforgiveness is not hurting them. They might not even know you are still carrying it, but it is destroying you from the inside out. It is poisoning your joy, stealing your peace, and preventing blessings from flowing into your life. I am asking you today, right now, to make a decision to release that person. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Not because what they did was okay, but because holding on to it is keeping you in prison. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the hurt never happened. It does not mean reconciling with someone who is still toxic and dangerous. It does not mean allowing yourself to be wounded again by the same person. Forgiveness simply means releasing your right to punish them, handing their judgment over to me, and choosing to move forward with your life instead of remaining chained to your past. When you forgive, you are not setting them free. You are setting yourself free. You are removing the obstacle that has been blocking your blessings. You are creating space in your heart for new, healthy, life-giving relationships to develop. So right now, I want you to do something powerful. I want you to speak out loud the name of the person who hurt you. And then I want you to say these words: I forgive you for what you did to me. I release you from my judgment. I hand you over to God. I am no longer going to carry the weight of what happened between us. I am free, and you are free. As you speak those words, you might feel emotion rise up inside you. You might cry. You might feel angry for a moment. That is okay. Let those feelings come up and out. This is part of the healing process. But after you have spoken forgiveness, do not pick that burden back up again. When thoughts of what they did try to creep back into your mind, immediately remind yourself that you have already dealt with that. You have already forgiven them, and you are moving forward now. This cleansing of your heart is absolutely essential because the blessings that are coming toward you require a clean vessel to receive them. Imagine trying to pour fresh, clean water into a dirty glass. The water gets contaminated by the filth that was already in the glass. In the same way, if I pour new blessings into a heart that is still polluted with old hurts and grudges, those blessings get contaminated and cannot produce the fruit they are meant to produce. So I am asking you to clean house in your heart. Deal with the bitterness. Address the resentment. Release the people who hurt you. Let go of the disappointments that you have been rehearsing over and over again. Make room for the new things I want to do in your life. And as you are doing this heart work, as you are cleaning out the toxic emotions and replacing them with gratitude, hope, and faith, I also need you to pay attention to the words you are speaking. Your words have creative power. They shape your reality more than you realize. When you constantly speak negativity, complaint, and doubt, you are actually creating an atmosphere that attracts more of the same. But when you begin to speak faith, gratitude, and declaration of my promises. You create an atmosphere where miracles can happen, where breakthrough can occur, where the supernatural can invade your natural circumstances. Stop saying things like, "Nothing ever works out for me. I always get the short end of the stick. Good things happen to other people but not to me. I am just unlucky. I am cursed. I will probably never get what I want." Those words are poison. They are self-fulfilling prophecies that keep you trapped in cycles of defeat. Instead, start saying things like, "God is working everything out for my good. My breakthrough is coming. I am blessed and highly favored. Good things are attracted to me because I belong to the King. My best days are still ahead of me. I am entering a season of supernatural provision and blessing." These words create faith. They build hope. They position you to receive what I want to give you. Now, before I share what I need to share next, I want you to do something important. I want you to subscribe to this channel right now, if you have not already done so. Make this a non-negotiable part of your daily routine to receive encouragement, truth, and hope that will strengthen your spirit and keep you moving forward, even when circumstances try to pull you backward. You need voices in your life that remind you of who I am and what I have promised. You need messages that counteract the negativity and lies that the world is constantly speaking over you. This channel is one tool I am providing to help you stay strong, stay focused, and stay faithful on your journey. So click that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Commit to showing up regularly. And then share these messages with people you know who are struggling, who need hope, who are on the edge of giving up. Your simple act of sharing could save someone's life today. Now, I want to address something that many of you are experiencing right now, and it is causing tremendous pain and confusion. I am talking about the situation where someone you love deeply, someone you invested in, someone you gave your heart to, walked away from you or treated you with indifference and coldness. Maybe it was a romantic relationship where you poured everything you had into making it work, but the other person did not reciprocate your love. Maybe it was a friendship where you were always there for them, but when you needed them, they disappeared. Maybe it was a family member who should have cherished you, but instead rejected you or used you. Whoever it was, their abandonment or mistreatment left deep wounds in your soul that still hurt when you touch them. I want you to know that I saw everything that happened. I witnessed every moment you were ignored, every time your love was taken for granted, every occasion when you reached out and received coldness in return. I collected every tear you cried over that relationship. I heard every prayer you prayed asking me to change their heart. And I want you to understand something profound that is happening right now in the spiritual realm. While you have been healing, growing, and becoming stronger, that person who walked away from you has been on their own journey. And many times, what happens is this: they left you thinking they would find something better, someone who required less from them, a situation where they could have all the benefits without any of the commitment or sacrifice. But what they are discovering now, in their moments of honesty and solitude, is that what they had with you was rare and precious. They are beginning to realize that your love was not ordinary or common. They are starting to understand that the way you cared for them, supported them, believed in them, and stood by them was exceptional. And this realization is creating an internal struggle in them. On one hand, they miss you and wish they could go back to what you shared. On the other hand, pride and fear are preventing them from reaching out, admitting they were wrong, and asking for another chance. So they sit with their regret, thinking about you, remembering the good times, and wrestling with whether they have destroyed something that can never be rebuilt. Meanwhile, you have been transforming. The pain of their rejection pushed you into a season of self-discovery where you learned your worth, developed your strength, and discovered that your value is not determined by whether someone else recognizes it. You are no longer the person they left behind. You have grown. You have healed. You have become someone who knows what they deserve and will not settle for less. And this transformation is not just about preparing you in case that person comes back. It is about preparing you to attract and receive the kind of love that truly honors who you are and who you are becoming. Here is what I need you to understand clearly. If that person does come back, if they do reach out with genuine repentance and a sincere desire to make things right, you are not obligated to take them back. You do not owe them another chance, just because they finally realized what they lost. You need to look at their actions, not just their words. Have they truly changed, or are they just lonely and looking for what is familiar? Have they done the internal work necessary to become a better partner, or are they going to repeat the same patterns that hurt you before? Are they coming back because they genuinely love and value you, or because they are having trouble finding someone else who will put up with their behavior? These are critical questions, and you need to be honest with yourself about the answers. Do not let loneliness, nostalgia, or a desire to avoid starting over with someone new cloud your judgment. You have worked too hard on yourself to go backward into something that was not healthy. You have grown too much to settle for less than you deserve. And I am telling you clearly that if this relationship is truly meant to be restored, it will only work if both people have genuinely transformed. Otherwise, you will just be repeating the same painful cycle with someone who has not changed. But here is the beautiful part. Whether that person comes back or not, whether you reconcile or move forward separately, you are going to be okay. In fact, you are going to be more than okay. You are going to thrive. Because the work you have done on yourself, the healing you have experienced, the strength you have developed, these things belong to you regardless of what happens with anyone else. You are not the same person you were when that relationship ended. You are stronger, wiser, more grounded in your identity, and clear about your worth. And that makes you incredibly attractive to the right person. Someone who will see your value immediately and treat you with the honor and love you deserve. So release the outcome of that past relationship into my hands. Stop obsessing over whether they will come back or not. Stop checking their social media to see what they are doing or who they are with. Stop rehashing old conversations, trying to figure out what went wrong. It is over. That chapter has closed. And whether it reopens in a new, healthier way or remains closed forever, you are moving forward. You are stepping into a future that is bright, promising, and full of possibilities that you cannot even imagine yet. Trust me with your love life. Trust me with your desire for connection and companionship. Trust me to bring the right person at the right time in the right way. And while you are waiting, do not put your life on hold. Do not sit around pining for someone who is not there. Live fully. Pursue your dreams. Develop your gifts. Invest in meaningful friendships. Grow in your relationship with me. Become so whole and complete in yourself that when the right person does show up, you are not looking for them to complete you or fix you or make you happy. You are already complete, already whole, already joyful, and you are simply inviting them to join you in the abundant life you are already living. This is the position of strength and health that attracts healthy relationships. Desperate, needy, broken people attract desperate, needy, broken people. But whole, healed, confident people attract whole, healed, confident people. So focus on becoming the kind of person you want to attract. Work on your character. Deal with your issues. Heal your wounds. Develop your emotional intelligence. Learn healthy communication. Become someone who is ready for a mature, stable, life-giving relationship. And then trust me to bring the right person across your path at exactly the right moment. Now, let me address the spiritual battle that is raging around your life right now, because I need you to be aware of what is happening in realms you cannot see with your physical eyes. There is an enemy who absolutely hates you. He hates you because you belong to me. He hates you because you have potential to do great things that will advance my kingdom. He hates you because your life is a testimony that threatens his lies and exposes his deceptions. And because he hates you, he is constantly working to destroy you. He cannot take your salvation away, because that is eternally secure, but he can try to make your life so miserable that you become ineffective, discouraged, and defeated. His primary weapons are lies, accusations, distractions, and discouragement. He whispers lies to you about who you are, telling you that you are worthless, that you have messed up too badly to ever be used by me, that you are a failure who will never amount to anything. He brings accusations against you, reminding you of every mistake you have ever made and trying to convince you that I am disappointed in you or angry with you. He creates distractions that pull your attention away from what really matters, getting you focused on trivial things while important opportunities pass you by. And he works tirelessly to discourage you, to make you feel like giving up, to convince you that fighting is pointless, because nothing is ever going to change anyway. But I need you to understand something crucial. The enemy only attacks people who pose a threat to him. If you were not dangerous to his kingdom, he would leave you alone. The fact that he is coming after you so aggressively is actually evidence that you are on the right path, that you are becoming someone he fears, that your life has significance that threatens his plans. So when you face spiritual attack, when you feel bombarded by negative thoughts and overwhelming circumstances, do not interpret that as evidence that you are doing something wrong or that I have abandoned you. Interpret it correctly as evidence that you are a threat to the kingdom of darkness, and the enemy is trying to neutralize you before you step into your full power and purpose. Your defense against these attacks is simple, but requires discipline and consistency. You must pray regularly, connecting with me in honest conversation, where you pour out your heart and listen for my voice. You must read and meditate on my word, filling your mind with truth that counteracts the lies the enemy is speaking. You must worship, lifting your voice in praise and thanksgiving that shifts the spiritual atmosphere around you. You must fellowship with other believers who can encourage you, pray for you, and remind you of truth when you are struggling to remember it yourself. These spiritual disciplines are not religious duties to check off a list. They are weapons that give you victory in the battle for your mind, your emotions, and your destiny. And I need to warn you about something. The closer you get to breakthrough, the more intense the attack becomes. Right before major victory, you will often face your greatest challenges. Right before significant promotion, you will face massive opposition. Right before answered prayer, you will face circumstances that make it look like the opposite of what I promised is happening. This is not coincidence. This is strategic warfare. The enemy knows that breakthrough is coming, and he is throwing everything he has at you to make you quit right before you cross the finish line. So when things get harder, when the pressure increases, when it feels like everything is falling apart, that is actually your sign that you are very, very close to victory. Do not quit now. Do not give up when you are steps away from the prize. Push through. Stand firm. Keep fighting. Your breakthrough is right around the corner. Let me also speak to those of you who are in the middle of a spiritual wilderness right now, a season where my presence feels distant, where prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling, where you are doing all the right things, but experiencing none of the blessing you expected. I need you to know that wilderness seasons are normal and necessary parts of the journey. I led the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years before bringing them into the promised land. I led Jesus into the wilderness to be tested before he began his public ministry. And I will sometimes lead you into wilderness experiences where you feel dry, empty, and alone. But these are not punishment, these are preparation. In the wilderness, you learn to depend on me in ways you never would if life was easy and comfortable. In the wilderness, you discover that I am enough even when you have nothing else. In the wilderness, your faith is tested and proven genuine. In the wilderness, pride dies and humility grows. In the wilderness, you stop living for the approval of others and start living for an audience of one. All of these lessons are essential for the assignment I have for you on the other side of the wilderness. So do not despise the dry season. Do not waste it by complaining and questioning my goodness. Squeeze every bit of value out of it by learning what I am trying to teach you. And know that just as surely as I led you into the wilderness, I will lead you out of it when the time is right and you have become who you need to be. My precious child, as we come to the close of this message, I want you to understand that everything I have been speaking to you about, all the trials and tests and challenges and growth opportunities, they all serve one ultimate purpose. I am preparing you to step into a new season that is unlike anything you have experienced before. I am getting you ready for blessings that are so abundant, you will not have room enough to contain them. I am positioning you for influence that will extend far beyond what you currently imagine. I am developing you into someone who can handle wealth, authority, and responsibility without becoming corrupted by them. This next season will bring changes that happen so rapidly, you will barely be able to keep up. Doors that have been closed for years will suddenly swing open. Opportunities that seemed impossible will suddenly become available. Resources that you desperately needed will suddenly begin flowing into your life from unexpected sources. Relationships that align with your purpose will suddenly emerge. Clarity about your calling and assignment will suddenly come into sharp focus. And all of it will happen with a speed and ease that can only be explained as supernatural intervention. But I need you ready to receive it. I need you healed from past hurts, so you do not sabotage new blessings. I need you free from toxic relationships, so you have space for healthy ones. I need you confident in your identity, so you do not shrink back when big opportunities come. I need you financially responsible, so you do not waste the provision I am sending. I need you spiritually mature, so you can handle the spiritual warfare that comes with increased influence. This is why the preparation has been so intense. This is why the process has taken longer than you wanted. I have been getting you ready for something massive. So hear me clearly today. Your season is shifting. The long dark night is ending. The sun is beginning to rise. What was impossible is becoming possible. What was closed is opening. What was dead is coming back to life. What was lost is being restored. What was stolen is being returned with interest. You are about to see the faithfulness of God displayed in your life in ways that will leave you speechless with gratitude. You are about to experience breakthrough that makes all the years of struggle worth it. You are about to step into the fullness of the destiny I designed for you before you were born. Do not give up now. Do not quit when you are this close. Do not let discouragement talk you into settling for less than I have promised. Hold on, stand firm, keep believing, keep praying, keep moving forward. Your miracle is not just coming. It is here. It is manifesting. It is breaking through right now. Open your eyes to see it. Open your hands to receive it. Open your heart to embrace it. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your season. Everything you have been waiting for, everything you have been praying for, everything you have been believing for, is being released into your life right now. And I want you to know beyond any shadow of doubt that I love you with an everlasting love that nothing can diminish or destroy. I am proud of you for not giving up. I am honored that you have chosen to trust me, even when circumstances gave you every reason to doubt. I am committed to you with a commitment that will never waver or fail. You are mine. You are precious to me. You are valued beyond measure. And I am going to spend the rest of your life proving to you just how much you mean to me. This is not the end of your story. This is just the beginning of the best chapter yet. Walk forward in faith, knowing that I am with you always, and the best is yet to come. I love you, my child, now and forever. Amen.